I am about to introduce our next storyteller, Danielle Thierry, who many of you will know as the executive director of Burlington Writers Workshop, and much of the reason we're here. Yeah, she rocks, right? Well, you know, this is actually her first time doing an oral storytelling event. So I know you've got like the best crowd ever here for this, but please give her a really warm round of applause. And I'm also going to say, we asked her about her favorite holiday food, and she said her mom's double stuffed baked potatoes, which sound awesome. Come on up, Danielle. Let's give her a round of applause.
It's a really, really, really close.
Okay. It's going to be weird. The whole thing's weird. All right. I'll go with the weird. All right. Well, thank you, Jen. And thank you to Dina for encouraging me to do this, and also for not revealing the lineup to me until after I said I would. Because after I saw the other storytellers, some of whom I've actually seen tell stories, to say I was intimidated was an understatement. So, all right, well, here goes my story. Just you wait, my father said. I got you the most amazing Christmas gift you could possibly imagine. It's so great, you couldn't possibly guess what it is. It was December of 1987. I was 10 years old, and just at the cusp of putting away my Barbie dolls and discovering the pure awesomeness that was 80s hair metal bands. What could this gift be? My mind raced with possibilities. Could it be the grand piano I had always dreamt of having, but knew we couldn't afford and really couldn't fit in the house anyway? Could it be tickets to see my favorite band in concert, Def Leppard, whom my father, in his never-ending attempt to get under my skin, had renamed the Dumb Lepers? Who knew? With Dad, anything was possible. He was that guy. We all know one. He hadn't come from much. He had grown up in the smallest of rental homes in Northwest Philadelphia. He was born the third child of a very cold mother and an even colder father, who died when Dad was 16 and left nothing more than a bar tab so large it almost broke the family until the fellow bar patrons took up a collection and paid it for my grandmother. Dad had dropped out of high school his freshman year, worked in a factory for a few years until he got drafted off to Vietnam. But everywhere he went, and no matter how crappy the circumstances were, he managed to carve out this persona for himself. In his neighborhood, in his job, in the army, even in my mother's big Irish Catholic family, where there was certainly no shortage of personalities. He was the one that was truly larger than life, the one with the most ridiculous jokes, the wackiest ideas, the wildest pranks, the biggest dreams. He was the one who could seemingly pull a party out of nowhere. He was a party unto himself. And he could make you stay no matter what you had to do the next day for one more story, one more song, just one more beer. So I was his only child, and he was a man who really had absolutely no idea how to be a father, certainly no example. So I became kind of the sole subject in his grand parenting experiment. And he went all in on that experiment. He really, really loved to make me happy and to make himself laugh. Perhaps nowhere was this more obvious or more vivid than Christmas. He was the master of Christmas gifts. I think the best to date at that time was the year that I was 7 years old, and I walked down the stairs Christmas morning to find a scale model replica of our home that he had built for my Barbies. He had saved scraps of wallpaper and carpet for the different rooms. He'd crafted the railing of our little split-level house. He had even made a miniature wooden version of my beloved upright piano, complete with a shrunken Xerox copy of the favorite piece that I love to play, pasted on the front. He also had a penchant for ridiculous Christmas gifts. We were reasonably financially sound, but certainly not extravagant, and there was just me, the one kid. But he wanted Christmas to be big. So he would go around the house and pick up random items and wrap them and put them under the tree so that when I came down in the morning, it looked like there were just mountains and mountains of gifts. This also meant that I never knew when I picked up the next gift if it was going to be the toy that I wanted or the baked beans from the cupboard. Or, the worst one, the toilet brush, used. My mother would get a lovely pair of earrings interspersed with giant-sized pantyhose in those little egg cartons they used to come in. And his signature item, individually wrapped tampons. So there was truly no telling what this gift was. But of course, in my 10-year-old mind, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The grand piano morphed into a chance to play with the band, or maybe one of the guys would show up and have Christmas with us. And every night as we lit the Advent wreath, my dad would do a countdown. 2 more weeks till Christmas, Danielle, and the big gift. 1 more week till the gift. 5 more days. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then Christmas Eve, my favorite night of the year. We would go to 5 o'clock Mass, the only day out of the year that my father would consent to go to church. And then we'd go straight to the house of our friends where the kids would play and the parents would drink and we'd sing until midnight. And then we came home and Mom and Dad and I sat in front of the tree and did what we always did, which was read the story of the birth of Jesus and sing a few more songs. And then came the big moment. The moment every Christmas Eve when I was allowed to open one gift. I obviously couldn't wait any longer, so there was no question what gift I wanted this year. Can I open your gift? I asked Dad. Are you sure? He said with a twinkle in his eye. Yes. Are you sure you're ready? Yes. Are you sure you can handle it? Yes. And then my mom, Jesus Christ, Jim, give her the goddamn gift already. Even I can't wait at this point. So, all right, he said. And he walked downstairs to his little basement workshop. And he came back up with a rather small package. I was confused and intrigued. Clearly, this was no grand piano nor a member of Def Leppard. Are you sure you're ready for this gift? He said, holding it up. Give her the gift, Jim, my mother said. So he handed it to me, and I ripped open the package, and I ripped open the box, and I couldn't wait, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. There in my hand sat the perfect plaster mold of my father's teeth from the dentist. Jim, how could you? My mom gasped. I burst into tears. My mother ran downstairs, grabbed a poster of Def Leppard and gave it to me. Here, open this. But no amount of 80s hair metal could save me now. I'm sorry, my dad said as he practically fell off the couch laughing. I couldn't resist. And he took another sip of his beer. I wanted to throw those teeth at him, knock that smile right off of his face. But I didn't. Even at 10, something held me back. It's been almost 30 years since that Christmas Eve. 17 years since my father, like his father before him, died way too young from too much hard living. And those teeth have traveled with me from my childhood home to college to apartments to the home where I'm now raising my 2 little boys. And every time we move, I unwrap them from their brown paper package, and I put the 2 corners of his mouth, or 2 sides of his mouth, on top of each other where they fit not quite perfectly, a little gap between the 3rd and 4th incisor. And there they sit on my desk in their place of honor in all their glory, smiling at me, or perhaps just having a laugh at my expense. Thanks.